What's up, everyone? Hey, man. How's your night been? Doing pretty good. Played some Fortnite. Now I'm on here, just hanging out. What's up, everybody? Feel free to ask any questions. I'm gonna get my YouTube chat working too. What's up, Waddlini? Y'all, thank you for the 6 roses. Are you crazy? You're nuts. I'm also an atheist as well. What are some of your beliefs? It's more of what I don't believe. I wouldn't say like what I believe in. Like, I mean, you want to talk about like evolution? I believe evolution's real. I believe stuff like that. The Big Bang's real. But other than that, like, it's just like, if you want to talk about religion, I don't believe in any of it. Why the atheist tag for views? I'm an atheist, and I figured it's something to talk about. Really, what it started out was was just one Twitter troll that would say stupid shit. So I ended up making an account just to respond to it because I was tired of using my main account. So then what happened was I was only getting like political shit and anti-abortion crap in my feed. So I stopped responding on there and made another one that said God made me, memes made me atheist. And then I thought it was funnier to call it God made me atheist. So I went to that. Do you support the devil? No, the devil doesn't exist. Do you believe in Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior? No. If we don't believe in anything, am I atheist? Pretty much, yeah. Like, atheist isn't like a positive action. It's more of like a, like, we like to say default, but it's not really default. But like, the default would just be nothing. Like, there's no need for the word atheist. But because we have religion, that which is theism, we have to label something atheism. It's kind of like how like a lot of straight men don't like to be called cis males. They're like, oh, I'm just a male. We don't differentiate. Well, you kind of do, but that's the same sort of theory. Like, we don't really need the term atheist. Just like we don't believe, but it just makes it easier. Okay, so you live your life thinking there was a Big Bang. Probably. I mean, you could view it right now if you wanted to. We could literally see the edge of the universe, and it's expanding. It's like we're technically, from what we could view, we're in the center of the universe, and then planets further away from us. The ones too close are too close to see it, but the space is actually expanding because the stuff like the other planets are moving further away from us. And they're not actually moving that fast. They're just, but like further you get, the faster it goes. So it's like we could watch this through a telescope. How do you think the universe came to be? I think that it was always. I think like how you think of God as always being. I think the universe to some capacity has always existed. Whether it was the size of a pinhead that like expanded, and then it re-expands and re-contracts over billions of years. You've always been atheist? No, I was originally a Catholic. I was Catholic up until I was like 25. What do you think of Jesus? I think he was kind of cool from the stories. I think he could have done a better job at getting rid of the evil things, but because like, what was the point of him giving up of his life for our sins when we still have so much sin and stuff? Like, I feel like it should have like solved stuff, you know? It didn't really do anything per se. People would probably disagree with that, though. What may become atheist is just the fact that like there's not enough evidence to like support the God hypothesis. What do you believe in after that? I don't believe there's anything, Master. I think it just ends one day. You're awake, and the next day you're just like asleep. It's like when when you go to bed and you don't have a dream, and you wake up and you're like, where was I? Your brain shuts off, and it's final shut off where there's nothing. Thanks Smash the likes, guys. Well, I think the point is he died because he knew sin. It's inner nature. It won't sin. Yeah, but what does that accomplish? So he died for our sin, and now what? Like it doesn't really add up in my view. Like I get it. It happened. That's what you guys think, but like other than that, it's just kind of weird. I'm gonna pop up my chat for YouTube. Focus mostly on TikTok, but keep that one too. Alright, do you think Jesus Christ existed as a person? Yeah, probably. I think there was probably a human being, and he took up the mantle of Christ and tried to fulfill the prophecies. Why do Muslims hate Christians but love Muslims? Because they're not Christian. Because Christians aren't Muslims, and Muslims are Muslims. That's why they love him. If he hadn't sacrificed himself, we wouldn't be able to enter heaven. Why not? So everybody before then didn't enter heaven? Why did all of a sudden that matter? Why did he have to actually do that to make heaven open? Think about it logically. Like, if he has the power to do whatever he wants, what the hell's the point in dying? Making himself die, like, oh, well, the only way I can do it, I can't just flick it. I have to die. I have to become a human and die first. Like, that's so weird. Make that bigger. Try to make it so I can look at the camera easier and read. All right, let's have a talk, brother. He loves you. I don't believe so. I just think he doesn't. I don't think he's like anything more than he was. It is weird, but it's part of the God's mysteriousness. He is the lover above our company. No, it just sound. Thanks Home Depot for the follow. The fuck. Like, it just sounds like somebody made it up one day and was like, all right, so God has to do this stuff. So it's an interesting story. The Home Depot requested to join your... What is going on here? Who's the Home... It's not really the Home Depot. What? I'm so confused. That bookcase for Christ? Yeah. I can't understand not following specific religion, but it seems hard to believe there isn't. Yeah, I understand. I was in that boat. I was a Christian for 25 years, so I get it. I'm 37 now, so it's been like 12 years of kind of like accepting that it doesn't exist. I've read the Bible 3 separate times. So I read it like as a child in like what's it called, CCD and Bible school. I went to Catholic school for a while too, so we've read the Bible a lot as kids. But then I read it again like front to cover, like instead of just skipping around it when I was like 15, when I was like starting to like really, like when I first really started to like not believe in it. Then I did it again when I was like 22 or so, give or take. I don't remember the exact ages, but it was after I stopped believing. I read it again just to like as a fresh perspective and make sure I was kind of viewing it right. Why did you turn atheist? Because there was no evidence for God. It doesn't really, like, none of the God stuff makes sense to me at all. Just kind of like doesn't really make sense. Read Genesis 1, trust me, it'll change you. I've read the Bible 3 times, Scoop Dog. I've read Genesis, the whole like myth about the creation. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. It was like 6,000 years ago. Like, how does that happen? May I join, please? The Home Depot. What's up, brother? Why do you want to join? Are you gonna tell me how to like build stuff? Like, what's going on? I frequent your store. There was a way to prove God was real when you believed then. Yeah. I mean, if it believes, I believe. Like, if it exists and it's provable, then of course I believe. Why not agnostic? I'm an agnostic atheist, like, but I'm like a mildly agnostic, I would say. So like agnosticism is kind of misunderstood, in my opinion. Agnosticism is like a truth claim. So like, if you believe that, or if you think you could believe, or you think you can't believe, and or the think you can prove or not prove is basically what the question is with agnosticism. And I think it's unprovable God. So like I don't believe you can know a God unless he like actually shows up. And you could be agnostic Christian if you wanted. Like if you can't, like, basically it's a thing about faith in a sense. Like faith is like belief without knowing. So I can't believe without knowing. If that makes sense. I join and talk to you about what I believe. I'm not gonna do any talking yet. I don't feel like putting my headphones on either, so. Everyone is atheist in some sense, yeah. Like there's 4,000 religions. If you believe in none of the other ones, then you're an atheist to 3,999 religions. I'm just one more than all you guys that are Christian. This guy is very serious. He's smart, but he just ignores any goofiness. What's up, Cass? God is good. In 100 years, we're both know the truth. God is very real. Make no mistake. Sure, David. I mean, prove it. God is real. Prove it. Jesus loves you. Prove it. Genuine question. If you're an atheist, where do you think life came from? So I don't have a full answer. I just have a guess. And I probably abiogenesis is the likeliness from it. The fact that we're able to reproduce like amino acids from minerals by striking with lightning force, which is what was theorized to be the early Earth form around the time when life began. So we kind of figured that out, then reproduced it and shot it with lightning, because there was lightning then, and we were able to make amino acids. Now, amino acids isn't life, but it's the building blocks of life. Is what life needs to run is amino acids. So somehow along the way, maybe it happened. It's hard to say, but if it's proven that like life can be created from these amino acids, what does that do for your belief in that God created everything? Then I would guess like most things, like lightning shifted from God causes it to now we have a scientific explanation for it. It's going to switch to, well, God made the Big Bang and then it created the Earth, and like, you know what I mean? Like it's just going to keep going until there's no end in sight. Like you could always believe in God, even if we prove the Big Bang happened and why it happened and all that. It's just that's all it is. Nah, that Thor, bro. I know Thor was the god of thunder. It's always funny that he's the god of thunder, but not of lightning. He's the one who shoots lightning with his little hammer, right? What's up, Gibbo? What's Jesus' real name? Yeshua, I think. At least in the English pronunciation. He's the god of Sigmas. Would you address the questions from before, Gibbo? Which ones? So we made that? Yes. I don't know. It's hard to keep up with chat. There's so many messages. Jesus was Joshua. Yeah, Yeshua. I'm saying it like by the way it's supposed to be said, I think. Yeshua. So Joshua is Yeshua. The true God is the Marvel Rivals ranked matchmaker. He decides my hate him. You have a mustache for a reason? No. I just grow a beard, and if you don't grow the mustache with the beard, you that's like an Amish thing, right? Believe in God at one point? Yeah, I believed for 25 years. I was a Christian for 25 years. Right, peace, bro. Night, hearing your thoughts. Thanks, Cass. What's the point of your life? Just to be happy. Try to be happy. That's it. That's all you can do, guys. Blue Hat Productions followed. Thank you. Wow, are you an adult? Yeah, I'm 37, dude. Oh, you're talking to Bradley? What moment made you realize you were atheist? It wasn't exact moments. It was more like reading the Bible helped. Oddly enough. How long have you been DEI? What's DEI to you? What part of me is DEI? What the fuck? What happened after 25 years? Well, it wasn't like, so I was agnostic probably for like 5 of those 20 years. I had like thoughts when I was young too. Like I thought that God wasn't. Well, I thought my parents were gonna tell me God wasn't real one day because it just made sense. Like oh, it's like stories, like Santa Claus or something. Why did you choose atheism? I didn't choose atheism. Atheism found me. I just can't make myself believe in a God that I can't tactilely feel, like actually measure. There's nothing. Bro, you believe science books, right? Yes, I do, Gibbo. Oh, you got the gotchas going. We got the gotchas going, guys. You believe in science books, right? Well, that's faith, right? Is that where we're going? Good is good. Yeah, good is good. Agreed. Pompeii happened when? I don't remember. I don't know the year. Like, what the fuck? Pompeii happened when? I don't know. Say it. Hold on, my back's hurting, guys. I want to take some Advil. No, science is the way. Science explains God's creation, does he? Do you say so, Gibbo? I just don't believe that. It doesn't make sense. Alright, 79 AD, okay. Dylan, a rock. You have to go, alright. Big Ho Productions. See you do. See you do. Blue Hat Productions and Blue Big. What the hell? What's with the productions? Was God good when he promoted slavery? No. Yeah, there's whole chapters about how to handle your slave, guys. If you're a Christian, everybody has a tough time defending that one. All they could say is that, well, it's a different type of slavery. It's like some of it is, yeah, but not most of it isn't. It's just like pretty much the same, but it's just not specifically for a specific race like American slavery. Daddy told me. That's better. That was flashing in the background. Do. We made along the way. That's funny. Jesus is God. God is God. See, the problem is Jesus really wasn't God because, like, if you actually read the Bible, like, what does Jesus say at the point of his death? Right before he dies, "Oh Father, why have you forsaken me?" Like, why are you talking to yourself? Why are you asking yourself questions? How much knowledge did Jesus have of God? Did he have any of it, or was like, why was he God if he wasn't actually God? It's so weird. Do you believe in God? Not at all. Do you have thoughts about psychedelic entities? I have never had that experience. I've heard stuff about it, like when you take the 3-letter one. I'm not gonna say the letters. I think I could get banned on TikTok. But like, it's I don't have any way to explain it, but like, I guess some people it could be from just hearing about it. Like people say it's happened, so it like triggers something in their brain while they're there. I don't really know. I pray that Jesus reveals himself to you and have a blessed day. Thank you, A2. Just so you know, guys, I do support. So for me, I'm more about like I have I'm very like supportive of the like Constitution. So I'm very for all of you support like doing your religions and having your beliefs. For most of why I do this is because like I'm trying to raise awareness for like what an atheist is and make it like more palpable. Like a lot of people get like think of atheist and I think of like a militant atheist getting angry and stuff like that and like some sort of devil worshiper, but that's not who I am. And I want you to have. I tried CJ, it didn't work. And my whole point is like I support like the churches. I think churches are a great thing for the communities, and I think that like there's a lot of benefits to them. I just don't like Christian laws. I don't like the ban on abortions. I don't like this whole trans ban movement saying like, oh, God only gave 2 sexes. That's bullshit. Are you really willing to sacrifice your heavenly home for social media? Christy, it has nothing to do with social media. What you don't understand is I was like this before social media. Like, I mean, I guess not, but I had moments when I was really young before social media, at least before Twitter existed, before maybe even YouTube. It was in the early 90s. I was like, might have definitely before YouTube, maybe not Google. Google wasn't really social, but it was around AOL era. I was like 8 or 9 years old, and I thought God was gonna be fake. I thought my parents were gonna reveal him to me to be like just like a thing, like Santa Claus, just something to teach us a lesson and like help us like form our brain and stuff. I literally thought this. I was like, what the hell? Okay, so you're not a Trump cult. That's great, but mate, you're not atheist. I can promise you that. Rhubarb, I don't believe you, but thank you. That doesn't make sense. If you're either an atheist or you're not. Like you can be like, like I don't get it. Please explain the difference between agnostic and atheist. So gorgeous. Agnostic can be either atheist or theist. It's basically a claim of knowledge. Can you know if God exists? If no, then you're agnostic. If yes, then you're Gnostic. So I'm an agnostic atheist. I don't believe you could know if God exists. So I still always have that like era of doubt where maybe God does exist and maybe he just doesn't. But I would say even so that Christianity probably isn't the right answer. Thank you for the rose, Antoinette. So basically, like the idea of the deist God who just like snapped his fingers and created the world and then let everything kind of play out, I can't disprove to a reasonable extent. The whole like Jesus narrative though like doesn't really work. There's too much supernatural BS that doesn't do whatever. How many genders? 99.9% of the gender is male and female. The other whatever is up to the person. I don't really care. The trans people could live their life however they want. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't know why you're so worried about it. It's stupid. Jesus loves you. Thank you. Gibbo, not my religion. Okay. No, it's not. Nate, who are you talking to? When you do think about it, if God exists, which religion do you lean towards? Deism. At this point, deism. If you were one like a mainstream religion, it's Christianity, because that's what I grew up. That's what I knew. So it makes sense to me at least. Mormon doctrine is weird. Yeah, it's a curse from God. That's correct. Blue Hat Productions. I agree. I've heard that too. If God is good, then you should be able to impregnate who you want, ethnic cleanse who you want, etc. So that's like I know I don't agree with your point there, but there are some interesting things like if your rapist gets you pregnant, you're technically supposed to marry them in the Bible. That's like, what the fuck? Like, that's kind of weird if you ask me. Not my thing. So isn't that now you're an atheist? Nothing. Oh, what happened to make me an atheist? It's just like, honestly, reading the Bible was a big part of it. I don't think the Bible just seems like, to me it seems stupid. Like I read it and like everything in it just seems dumb. Like I'm not trying to be mean, but like to me like it's like when you read something and it's just nothing makes sense and nothing like about it works for you. It like hurts your brain a little. I don't get it. The Bible is the past. It's not really. Yeah, you are too, buddy. I don't know who you're talking to when you speak me. I don't get it. Have you ever explored other religions? Only a little bit, not very much. Do atheists believe in human evolution from monkeys? Not all atheists, but probably most, I would guess. I mean, I don't think it was monkeys. Monkeys were like an offshoot. They're like our cousins, not our like direct relatives. We are from the Great Ape family. And before we get into it, like how are there apes, or why are there still monkeys if there are humans? Well, why are there still dogs if there are wolves? It's like shit like that, man. All right. What's your favorite Bible verse? I don't remember the exact number. Here, I'll Google it. This is a good one, guys. Get ready. Get ready. I want to get this one right, so I'm gonna... This is great. This is one of my favorite. All right, guys. You guys ready for this? Numbers 5 is a good one I like. All right. It's Ezekiel 23:20. Let me see, it's a good one. Yes, She lusted after their male prostitutes, whose members are like those of donkeys and who ejaculated like stallions. Best verse in the Bible. I love your tank setups, thank you. Sorry. God made us, I'm Christian. And it's kind of bad that people just hate on atheists. I don't care if you do. Yeah, so that's how I feel, Swirled. Like, I don't care if you're a Christian. You can be a Christian all you want. And I think churches are good. Like, I think they're good overall. I just don't like the mega churches and stuff like that. They should be paying taxes. Not even to, like, the government. I think they should be paying them to, like, other churches to help supplement them. I think they should be forced to give up, like, a portion of their wealth to, like, ones that are struggling. God made us. God made me. That's the whole point of my name. God made me atheist. That's the point of it. If you think that, like, God has a plan, then me being an atheist was part of God's plan. But all the Hindu people are part of God's plan, right? We're not from monkeys. Prove it, Nate. Prove it, Nate. I'll go one further. We're from fish. How do you feel about that? You're not gonna like that one. Where were you raised? Yeah, it was 25 years I was Catholic. No man, what made you become an atheist? God bless you, by the way. Thanks, Constant. So basically, I just didn't. I don't believe it. It's just like when you're reading the Bible and you just think like, I would just remember thinking like, this is so stupid. Like this is this real? And then like I would ask my parents about the demons because like I got scared they'd tell me it was fake, and then that was like kind of made it weird. Like I'm like, why does it have all this crap in here? What's the point? Spiritual journey will end up down, and this was done outweigh the top. Yeah. Do you believe in LeBron? Yeah. Have you read the Bible since you were a child? Not just yeah. I read it 3 times. Once as a child in like Bible school. Once when I was like around 15 and I was like questioning my beliefs, and then once when I was like 25-ish, give or take, 22, 25, something like that. After I was already atheist. You were forced to be Catholic and then chose to be an atheist because of your own experience in your childhood. Kinda, yeah. I mean, it's also just how my brain works. Stuff that happens in like in religion, like it just doesn't compute with me. It doesn't make sense. I look at things and make my own understandings, you know? I understand you, brother. Thank you, Gibbo. You think it's all dark after death? I mean, I don't think it's like... Do you know when you actually fall asleep and you're like, and you don't have any dreams and you didn't really, like, you know, you're past the point of your eyes being closed and just seeing the darkness like that, and you're just there and it's like nothing happens? That's what death is probably like. Because like even like blind people say when they lose their vision, they don't see black. It's just gone. There's nothing. And you probably have no consciousness. There's nothing there. It's just out. You're gone. So you won't see black. It'll just like fade to black and then gone. Always said the religion was made to give people the comfort with dealing with death. I think that's a big part of it, George. I think also a lot of it was like to create laws that people felt more obliged to like follow. Because you think about it, like the government can only do so much to make you do things without, especially back then, there was like, it wasn't that much to like, there's no police forces and stuff, very few or whatever. But now we have a lot. Back then, if you always felt like there was God over your shoulder, then like if God was over your shoulder all the time and saw what you were going to do was bad and whatever, then that would be it. Like you're stuck there. You at least believe in miracles? No, miracles are religious. If I believe in miracles, then I am no longer an atheist. You know what I mean? Like I could say like, oh, that was a miracle that I landed on my feet after I did a backflip off my deck by accident. But like I wouldn't literally mean miracle. I'm just saying it as like a figure of speech. The Big Bang isn't really a great name, but yeah, Big Bang YK. No Christians don't worship a god. They worship a god, yes. Have you heard of the proofs of in the Quran? I've heard of it. I don't really know what it is, though. Do you know what any books on atheism that you would recommend? No, I don't really. I never read any like atheist books. I don't really like get into it like that. I watched a lot of like debates. I think you learn a lot more through debates, because then you could really see people that feel like they know what they're talking about and argue with each other, and then you really get to the bottom of like those beliefs. So I like people like Matt Dillahunty, Hutchinson. Who else have I watched? There's Harris. A bunch of people. How are we fish? That's be a while. So fish were the starting point. They came out of land and have developed feet. You could actually see mud skippers. They crawl out and have lungs. So those turn into like lizards and stuff eventually. Like first they went to like a gecko or something. Not a gecko. Salamanders they turned into, and the salamanders kept going and stuff like that. And it's progressive. All of a sudden now they're developing mammal traits from the warm-blooded ones, and then it keeps going. To an atheist, what have you gained for being atheist? I don't. Playboy's not about gaining anything. I don't gain anything by believing religion that I can't believe in. Like if I practice Christianity without believing, what's the point? It's not about doing the thing. It's about belief. I can't make myself believe. I tried for a long time. Like I tried for a good 10 years. In 25 years I was a Christian. I tried making myself believe after not believing anymore for like a good 10 years. Do you think this all happened as a coincidence? Basically, it's a little more complex than that, but like for the sake of ease, I'll say yes, it was coincidence. I didn't mention being religious. Okay, Playboy. I don't know if it was just weird sound, but do you ever envy the faithful? I've felt this a lot in my dream. No, not really. I sometimes like, no, it's not like. So here's the thing. Like you believe, the reason you are who you are is because you believe in something that I think is fictitious. So like I can't envy you going to heaven or anything, because that would be the one thing would be nice, is to be able to go to heaven and be like happy all the time and see your family again. But I don't think you're gonna go there. I don't believe it's real. I don't believe any of it makes sense. When did it stop? When I was like 25. I'm 37 now. How do you think the world was made? I don't think it was made. No, I think it formed after the Big Bang, and like probably star formed first, and that pulled in a lot of debris, which created all the planets, and then Earth formed. What do you say when people sneeze? I say salute, like Italian, like salute. So, which is not a biblical thing, but I'll say God bless you. I don't care. Something can't be created with nothing. There can't be just a bang. So sec. I'm gonna editor. I'll call you. I didn't say there was nothing. I believe the universe probably always existed, and it probably banged from a tiny little pin drop, expanded, recontracted over a trillion or so years, and then redid everything again. So I think it's a circular thing that keeps happening. I don't think there was ever nothing. So I don't think you can create anything from nothing, because there never was nothing. And if you want to get technical, the sum of a universe might actually be nothing. It could be technically antimatter and matter being equal parts, and that makes nothing. Okay, then how was there a universe in the first place? So editor, so you're trying to get me like, it's the same way you look at God. Why was there a God in the first place to form all of us? So whatever your answer is there, that's what my answer is for the universe. You know what I mean? Like, felt like having a weightlifted. Yeah, productions. I agree. Cap. I see it. Yeah, let's go. Nothing's cap. I'm being serious. What created God? It's the same way I feel about what created the universe. Nothing. It was just there. Why would it be from something else? Like, why would something have to create it? And there's a lot of shit we don't know. Like, there's always the possibility that something else was out there and made the universe, even if it wasn't like a god. We were just a bunch of, all of the universes are just little marbles that an alien's playing with, like in Men in Black. I don't know. Editor, it's not really. It's just, it's too advanced for us to know at this point. Meeks. What would it take for you to believe? Hard evidence? Yeah, some sort of hard evidence. Daniel Morales. I respect your belief, man. I'm a Christian and don't see anything wrong with it. All right, thank you. I appreciate that, Daniel. I appreciate your religion too, and your. Right, I think it says too bright. It's like hurting my eyes. One. It's as low as it goes. Okay, we're gonna put at this. Oh God. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I believe in coincidences. It's a coincidence you ended up on my page, right? You believe we come from apes? Yes, Johnny. Said, oh God. Yes. I still use phrases. I'll still say, oh my God. Jesus Christ. If anything, people who are Christian probably shouldn't say those things. Why do you not believe in Jesus or Buddha or Allah? That's a good question. That's silly, Johnny. What's silly? Oh, that we came from apes? Why? Oh, science. Heavens to Murgatroyd! Like, how do you think the Bible was made? Somebody wrote it. It's a book of John and, like, you know, like a book of Isaac and shit. Like, it's written by people, bro. Science rolls. That's like pizza rolls. At Annie Meeks. Adding himself. Let's go. What do you think about all the people who died and came back and said they saw God? I don't know. What do you think of all the people who died and came back and said they saw Allah? Like, it's the same thing. You're gonna make so. Well, that's they didn't see that God. They saw something else. It was probably just their imagination. It's like, you look atheistic. You smell atheistic. What? Agnosticism is just a version of atheism. I'm part agnostic. Like, there's no real, like, I don't know if I believe or not. That's just saying you're an atheist, but agnostic atheist, which I am, because, like, I don't know if God exists or not. But faith is like you believing regardless of whether you know he exists or not. You believe in Julius Caesar existed? Probably. I don't really care if Julius Caesar existed. What does it matter? Like, who gives a shit? So, we have evidence for Julius Caesar, or we have evidence that, like, he is, like, doesn't exist. Okay, we have the stories, we have all the information. Like, what does it matter? We don't need him. It doesn't matter to life today. Caesar, like, saying Caesar didn't exist doesn't change anything about everyday life. If God doesn't exist, then it does change your everyday life. What do you think happens after death? Nothing. You just cease to be. Your world fades to black, and then you don't exist, and there's nothing. What's between you and being an anti-theist? I'm not anti-theist. I just don't think that it's that bad. I think there's a lot of bad that comes from religion, yes. Like, wars have been waged. There's terrorist attacks in the name of religion. But overall, in America, where I am, I believe in the Constitution, your right to freedom to practice religion and keep it out of our... try to keep it out of our laws and stuff, but you're free to practice it to your ability, and I think there's good that comes with it. Just like how when you lose your eyes, you don't see black. Exactly, yeah. When you blind people don't see, and if you cover your left eye, you don't see black. You just don't see. It's weird. Like if you close your right eye, you do, but once you close your left eye and you start focusing on just your right eye, you don't see anything. There's no black. It's only when you close both your eyes and you're like seeing little bits of light, you can kind of see black. That's it. I tried taking a chance on that, Kelly, but now I'm at the point where I can't believe. I can't make like, what am I supposed to do? Just pretend? God knows if I pretend. If I go to God and say, listen, I didn't believe, but I tried to. I went through the motions. What does he do? What I've heard is just not believing is all it takes to not like do it. So I don't know like what you expect from me. Like, do you guys understand that? Does anybody understand that? Does that make sense? Do you believe in reincarnation? No. Like, if I can't make myself believe, what's God gonna do? Even if I practice Christianity, the main thing that gets you in heaven is believing. So what do? Atheists are the most believers because they definitely know what they don't believe. I don't know what that means, but okay. Do you believe in reincarnation? Not in the slightest. Do you believe in science mainly? I mean, belief in science is kind of weird, but yes, I believe in science. I trust science is the better way to put it. Were you ever Christian? Yes, for 25 years. Sorry, I'm 37. I've been an atheist for like 12 years. How do you become an atheist? Through logic and critical? Yeah, that's basically it. Through logic and critical thinking. There's not really much else like to get you there. Can you give me an example of what evidence you need? I mean, actual physical evidence of the supernatural would be cool if you could like prove that like miracles can happen. That would be interesting. What do you play Fortnite on? On PC. I stream on my other account. Kids just follow all their parents' beliefs. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Are you scared before your birthday? That's a good one. If an atom was even a billionth of an inch off the universe, would not exist so much like God exists? Yeah. Is your family Christian? Yes. And they didn't react well the first time I said like many years ago. As I said it before, I was like kind of on the fence a long time ago, and then I kind of like pushed back and like tried to make myself believe, tried to find God, and nothing worked. Now I'm just full admit it. And I told my dad, and he like freaked out. Oh, God was 100%. What would you do? I'd believe then. Then it would be easier because then I would have evidence and I'd be able to believe, and then I could follow the rules and be like, all right, I'm going to heaven. Yeah, repeatable, falsifiable evidence. Exactly said. Jericho, my back's hurting, guys. I'm sorry. I'm fidgeting a lot. I would say the universe always existed to some capacity. It just wasn't what we knew at the time. Like there was a time before, like it created time supposedly. Like that's what like the universe is. It's time, space-time continuum. Tell him to go to his house and hang since he was okay. I don't know what you're saying, man. I don't want to be one of those pushy Christians, but man. Trusting in God improved my life. I'm glad that works for you, Tristan. When I trusted in God and I fully believed, it never did anything for me. I never felt a single bit of anything. It just made me more nervous than anything because I wasn't believing, and then it got in my head that I was going to go to hell. So like, and that was what was weird because I didn't believe, but then I'm like, oh God, what if I'm wrong? Because I wasn't like that certain. Like when you're more of like what people call agnostic, where you're like, I don't know, and this, and then you start worrying about it like a problem. I don't hope that makes sense. Like, because like if you're like in between and like you don't know what to believe, then you're worried about God actually punishing you for not believing if you died. Are you familiar with game theory? A little bit. I know the YouTube channel really well, but that's where I learned what real game theory was. So I don't know it that great, but I've heard of it. If you don't understand atheists, then think about how you thought Santa was real as a kid. Exactly. And that's actually one of the first things that like kind of made me start thinking. When I found out Santa wasn't real, this is gonna sound stupid, but I started thinking that like, oh, it's like a story you learn when you're a little older, and then like it's basically a guy in the sky that could see everybody all at once, has all these magical powers, can tell you knows when you did a bad thing or sinned or something. And I'm like, oh, it's like the adult, like the kid version of God. one day my parents are going to tell me that God isn't real and it was just stories to make me learn. I really thought that for a while when I was younger. That was my first like tiptoe into atheism before there was social media, before I knew anything was like real. It's so weird. True free will was seeing real evidence and then letting you choose. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like the whole argument that free will is the reason why God doesn't show himself to you in person is kind of ludicrous, because Satan, Lucifer, he was a fallen angel. How did he fall? Because he knew God. Thank you for calling the Turtle School. They're really cool. I love them. But like Satan was a fallen angel. He rebelled against God. He screwed himself. But like it shows that you could have free will while knowing God exists in person. So it's kind of crazy. What's up, Marilyn? Thank you for sharing the live. Guys, if you haven't yet, drop a follow, drop a like. Please share the stream. It really helps. The Ohio Butthole Tickling Man. What? It's a funny name. You have a question? All right. I'm kind of nervous. Kind of nervous about this one with that name. How can there be so many gods, but only one is correct? That's also confusing. How can there be like 4,000 different types of Christianity itself? That's like a weird one too. What'd you say your belief is? I have some input. I don't really have a belief. It's just, it's more I don't believe. Of course, I have like beliefs. Like belief in other things is different than belief in a god, though. It's meant to be Bandit, but TikTok wouldn't let me spell it all. Sorry, that's hilarious. Do you know what naturalism? I know it to an extent. I would say I'm probably to an extent naturalist. There's a funny South Park over which religion is right when they die and they get but heaven. It's Mormon, right? I just remember thinking like, oh, what's the religion? Blah. Aww. And then Kenny goes to hell. Little boy, you're going to hell. Do you consider yourself? I'm an agnostic atheist. It's not really like one or the other, Sigma. Agnostic is something different. Agnostic is like a truth claim. Do you believe you can know? Can you know there's a God, or can you not know there's a God? That's the question with that. The question is, one God doesn't exist. Where do you think the first chicken, bull, zebra, and lion? I don't know. Where did they come from? They like. The first chicken came from an egg, and the first bull came from some sort of bull-like creature. Like a zebra came from a zebra-like creature, like probably closer to a horse. And a lion came from some other cat-like creature. So this is where it gets a little hard. There is always going to be a point where something that wasn't a lion gave birth to what is now we consider a lion. But at the time, it was considered that part of the species. That's what's so weird about it. So finding that first lion is almost impossible. So let's call it a lion and a Leo. So like a Leo has gives birth to another Leo, but this Leo is a lion. So even though the one it wasn't before isn't a lion, this one is. But this is still a Leo. They're both still the same species, but with a different version of that species. And it's only small enough where they're still intermingle, but if that one keeps breeding, it spreads it to the other ones, and other things happen, then you start to get, like, speciation. So, like, it's hard to, like, measure it. Like, a speciation happens when two groups usually split, not while they're together. So, like, that's how that works. And you could prove this with fruit flies by taking a group of fruit flies, splitting them in half, and then kind of giving them different conditions. They'll evolve. You could actually witness evolution. How do you control your life in their hands? Nobody's an atheist when someone or something. Yeah, I had my mom die while I was an atheist. I didn't change anything, so it was out of my hands, and crazy shit happened, and I'm still an atheist. It didn't change. I'm sorry. Try. How did the first water form? I don't know, but I mean, if I was to guess, through some sort of chemical process that creates water, like when the Earth was forming and it cooled down, somehow hydrogen met with oxygen, and that's only on Earth. It probably formed in space at other times to form ice. I don't know the whole chemical process that like happens to make water form. Here, nobody is an ace in a foxhole. Okay, whatever. You can believe whatever you want to believe. Do you believe that matter cannot be created or destroyed? I would say probably not. I don't really know, but I'm not like a scientist like that. But from what I've heard, that's what it is. Things that guys have to tell yourself to be able to cope. Yeah. Tell me more, Atheist. What's your stance on hope? Do you have any of this? Yeah, I have hope. Honestly, I have a lot of hope for the country to do better than it is. Like, that's what my hope is. And honestly, right now, things are looking a little sketchy. A lot of the promises that were made in America didn't happen. They didn't come through. We're supposed to be paying less at the grocery store on day one, and didn't happen. And now we're being told that it looks like we might have some hard times ahead by Mr. Presidente. Give me a quick explanation on what made the solar system. All right, so like I'm only doing like minor stuff with this. I'm not a scientist, guys, but so solar systems are formed around the stars. The star is what forms first, and then it just keeps going around. So the gravitational force from the sun starts pulling all the debris and matter in a circular pattern around itself. It could be some could be vertical, some could be sideways, but eventually the vertical and the sideways ones will typically crash into each other and kind of weed each other out until one kind of takes over. And then some clumps will get bigger and kind of so hot from all the pressure they'll start to melt and form like one spherical planet, and with odd shaped like the Earth, and since it's rotating, it'll start rotating itself, and then that's just what happened. And like so maybe we had like 50 planets at one point. 2 of them would collide. We get a bigger one. Junk would fall off onto another one. That's why we find pieces of Mars sometimes on the Earth and from asteroids and shit. So that's kind of the idea. Gravity was a little strong and nothing would have existed. It's like a little weaker nothing. Possibly Titan. I don't know how true that is. I've heard stuff like that, but it's hard to vet all that stuff. Objective morality isn't true. I don't think that. I don't believe in objective morality. I think you could be objective with your morals. I don't believe in absolute objective morality where it's like intrinsic. Say a lot of... Wait, do you have a Twitch? I want to say a lot of stuff. I have a Twitch for my gaming, but I don't intermingle right now. I have a YouTube I'm streaming live on this too. You could go there if you want. Was it slightly stronger? The universe would collapse into a ball. I don't know if that's true. I don't think that is true. But I'm not like I said, I'm not a scientist. I don't know physics. Your opinion on someone who is agnostic? I am agnostic. So like agnostic means you don't know if God exists. I don't know if he exists. So, but I don't believe in God. So I'm an atheist. So atheism, belief, agnostic is whether you know or not. You can be a Gnostic atheist who's like, I know God doesn't exist. So yeah. Why don't you believe in Jesus? There's not enough evidence to try speaking words, Tom. There's not enough evidence to believe that he was like the Lord and Savior. I believe he probably existed though. Would you let your children practice religion if they wanted to? Yeah. I like your TMNT collection in the background. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I got like my old pillow from when I was a kid. I got some big turtles. I got some stuff up here. Oh Jesus! I hit the camera. Scared the crap out. I got the Technodrome up here. I don't know if you can see it. Is my turtle sleeping? Turtle sleeping right there in the back. What's your YouTube? It's God Made Me Atheist. You'd be my first follower. I just started streaming tonight to see if it did anything. Guys, don't forget to drop a follow and drop a like. Oh God, what happened? Let's see. I've had 1 viewer so far. I haven't posted anything either. Thank you for the follow, Tyler. Why don't you believe in God? There's not enough evidence for God. Jesus loves you. Thank you. Who or what created the energy that caused the Big Bang? I don't know if anything did. It may have just always existed, Bernadette. It's like when if I ask you, oh well, what created God? Oh, I just think he always existed. He was. It's like it just happened. The great mover is the universe, in my opinion. I'm not religion, but I am spiritual. I say I'm anti-religious. I don't know what that means, Fancy Feral, but I appreciate it. What's your thoughts about why the belief of Jesus has been carried on for thousands of years? I mean, there's other religions that carried around for thousands of years. Why did they? It's because there's a lot of appeal to it. I think Christianity is not inherently bad. I mean, there's bad parts of it, and I think there's a lot of people that use shit wrong, but it is what it is. Yeah, my username's intentionally a contradiction, Elsmer, because Christians will say that atheists believe in God, and they just like to say they don't, and because they're rebelling. So it was a joke. And there's truth to it too. If God is real, then God made me an atheist. I'm part of God's plan. He made me, baby. Where's Jesus' body if he never existed? What the fuck? If he never existed, then where is no body? What? I'm so confused. So I'm basically agnostic and don't believe in organized religion. I got you. So for me, agnostic's not like if you're agnostic, and so you kind of don't believe in God, then you're an atheist too. So, but you could label yourself however you want. Well, it came before the Big Bang, and then before that, and before that, everything. So the theory that made the sense to me was like the universe is like kind of like a donut that like collapses on itself and then re-goes. So what created it originally? Nothing, because it just always existed. And then it would explode and then implode, just for lack of a better term. So just constant like that for like, I guess how many trillions of years, I don't know. The sun is fine too to give us cancer. Good one. Good one, satirical. I like it. If it was slightly stronger, it would collapse into a ball. Maybe. You claim that, but how do you know that if you weren't there for it? You believe in parallel universes? I don't know. I think that's might be part of what supernatural is like bleed through from a parallel universe. Don't know though. At the end of the day, your religious views come down to opinion, pretty much, yeah. That's the whole thing about the objective morality argument is like there is no objective morals within Christianity. John, I see you. I'm sorry, I didn't see you there until now, but I see you now. Living in a terrible time, and basically the priests would make money off of people. Yeah, that's pretty much true, John. I agree. It's kind of wacky how like all that shit works. What do you think happens after death? I think we just kind of like die and just see nothing. We fade to black and then it's gone. We're gone. We just go to sleep. Ninja or Tifu? Probably Ninja, but I think Tifu would win in a 1v1. I prefer Ninja though, because like just think about it. Like Tifu is such like a fucking jerk. He's like, freaking noob. Everything's like that. What's he doing? Like, at least Ninja's like a little entertaining, but I'm not a big fan of either. Miracles in religious books. I don't believe them. They just don't. None of them ever add up. Like, what do they really prove? There's no real evidence for any of it. It's just like, oh, I wrote it in a book. Do you believe in science too? I believe in science. Science is different though. It's not like the same sort of belief. What do you think about Taoism? I've looked only a little into Taoism. It's like, isn't that like I'm a Buddhist priest. I think we're technically sort of like Tao. How can you be an atheist if you were born? You had to come from an external source. Prove it. Just prove it, period. Prove it. You have no evidence for that. You're just saying that. You just say bullshit. Like, what am I supposed to believe? How am I supposed to believe that? You don't bring me anything. You just say, eh. You have to come from an external source. What does that mean? Yeah, John, I don't know why it took 6 days to build the Earth. That's kind of a weird one. I don't believe in God. It says I'm an atheist. If I'm an atheist, do you know what that means? Miracles do add up. For example, if the Quran explains embryology and how the universe expands, okay. So, There's not enough evidence to prove either atheism or any religion. Yeah, you can't prove atheism. To prove atheism's wrong, you need to prove that God exists or a God exists. But then, like, the question becomes, like, what if an alien comes down and they were God? They were the one that pretended to be Jesus. And you're like, well, now what? Because what we considered was a God is now not really a God. So who was right in that situation? Was there a God or was there not again? God. My favorite band is probably the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but I like Led Zeppelin and Guns N' Roses too. Guns N' Roses is pretty high up there now that I think about it. Huge Guns N' Roses fan. How was the world created, Ed? It wasn't. It just formed. It formed after the Big Bang, after the sun formed, and then like took probably a billion years for it to like form into like any sort of planet shape. How was the world created then? I think I just answered that. The universe created itself, probably. I don't know how you can prove it wrong, so. Fearful. Never met a. Yeah, Christians are always fearful. Is advantage knowledge for somebody who lived 1400 years ago? Why do you think a blind eye? I don't know. Big theory was Catholic theory. Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, is this Nirvana? This sounds like a old weird one. Yeah, Love Buzz. Okay. This is like what on Bleach? Yeah, it's on Bleach. Exactly. We don't know if anything is true. Yeah. Were you raised atheist? No, I was a Catholic for 25 years. Call in advanced knowledge, but God is the one who created man. Yeah. You might be, but I don't think you can prove that. I'm sorry. You guys aren't opening your eyes. I know, I'm squinting because my eyes are... I have this stupid fucking light in my eye. It's making my eyes burn, and then it's kind of windy in here. Should I turn this off? Does it get too dark? It's not so bad. It's better on my eyes, though, I'll tell you that much. Which one is this? No, hold on. Try putting a filter on it. Make it brighter. I don't know how to use this program. I'm just gonna leave it. Do you like cats? I like cats. I'm more of a dog fan. I got my buddy Elvis right here. Nothing created everything now. There was never nothing. There was always something. The idea that there was ever nothing is ludicrous. So I don't care if God's proven to not exist, because not saying exist by creating existence. I don't know what that means. I love Elvis now. Elvis is a good boy. I'll make the screen a little smaller so you can see him. There's Elvis. If I do that, try to move over it. Put this way for you. Is that like a good spot for on the screen, guys? Maybe the universe has been here for an infinite amount of time. Well, there's only time when the universe is here, so yeah, I guess so. It's the best way to put it. Because the time is only within the universe. Outside of the universe, there is no time. You believe in science or what? Pretty much, Eric. I'll say I believe in science. I'm not an atheist, but atheist hating is weird. Yeah, I mean it's kind of in the Bible, I guess. So. Is to like get mad at us. Gravity is less than Earth, but it's entirely possible. I don't know. Are you respectful to people who believe their own faith? Yes. I'm respectful to you guys for the most part. And I believe in your right to freedom to religion. I'm very much pro-Constitution. I'm from America, so first thing is like freedom for religion and speech. I am respectful of that room, bro. I love all and help. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm a little bit of an introvert, so like just the fact that I'm on here talking so much is weird for me. But like, I still like, I want the world to be a better place for everybody, not just me. I'm very empathetic. Do you see value in the place that religion provides? Yes. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the community aspect of religion is really good. I think that the mega churches should be heavily taxed and all the tax money should be given back to smaller churches to help them have better accommodations for people in the communities that are actually need it. And those mega churches are a joke and a stain on religion. I'm atheist, but I accept all people of religions. Yep. Why do you become an atheist? There's just not enough evidence to prove God exists. Thank you for the share, guys. Bows. Ballsack. I just read your name right. Fine. Damn it. Damn it. Guys, drop a like, drop a follow. Please share the stream if you don't mind. It helps keeping this shit up. I'm trying to make see how this goes. It's going pretty good the past few days. Been averaging around 40 viewers, so it's been pretty cool. Are you open mind towards religion's face? Do you think there's always going to be an atheist? I'll probably always be an atheist. I have an open mind, but only I'm very stubborn. Like, you have to, like, I was very literal with the Bible too. So like, once I started reading it and seeing all the like glaring problems with it, I kind of had to like give it up. Pepper sauce. Jesus loves you. I understand. God bless you. I didn't sneeze, but I appreciate it. Humpty Dumpty loves you, bro. Stop. So have you ever cried? Yes, I cried. I cried a little last night when I was watching House, of all things. There's this episode in season, I think 7, episode 2. I'm not exactly sure. It's around that area. But there's this girl that like, what is she? She's a skateboarder, and her brother's like has some sort of illness, and he's like at a skate park with her, and she's pushing him around, and she like collapses and has a problem. But let's get just to like get down to it. She ends up being able like losing her lungs, so they get her a donor, and then it ends up collapsing again, and they can't get another donor. So the only match is her brother, and they're deciding, and she tries to kill herself, so like he can't get it, and then like that brother finds out and goes up to her and like just does this speech, and it just like it's heart-wrenching. Oh, and I also can't watch that one episode of Futurama, Jurassic Bark. You guys ever watch Jurassic Bark? That thing, every freaking time I watch it, I cry. The stupid dog's sitting there waiting for him for like, I can't talk about it. Have I watched Interstellar? No. Would you go to church with a friend if they invited you? I've been to churches. I mean, my family's still Christian, so I go for funerals and stuff. It's horrible. I hate it. It just gives me the creeps. It just feels like a cult too. Like it feels so culty for me. I don't like anything about it. I really never did either. I always like hated going to church as a kid, even though I knew I had to and I was supposed to, because like when you're Catholic, you're told you go to hell if you don't go to church. But I hated it. I didn't like the smell of it. I didn't like the sound it made when you walked in, how echoey it was. I didn't like all the people that were there. I didn't like that thing that they did with like you have to shake hands with everybody around you, because I thought that was weird and insincere. Just never liked any of it. You ever get tired of explaining your beliefs? Yeah. But it's been kind of fun on this, seeing see it grow and shit, so kind of eases that. What are you atheist afraid of? I'm not afraid of anything specific. Mainly gremlins. Don't the Catholics just believe in Jesus and live for him? No, they also pray for like saints and Mary and stuff, and like it's part of it, but like it's a lot of weird shit with Catholicism. Like you have to like what are some of the weird shits that you do? Like you don't eat meat used to not eat meat on Fridays, but then it just become during Lent, and then now it's like I don't know, it's weird. You'd go and eat the body and blood of Christ. You'd make a communion and confirmation and stuff. Catholics pray for intercession. Yeah, I'm a Christian, and like the priests aren't allowed to marry. The women aren't allowed to marry, like the nuns and stuff. It's a lot different than other ones. And it has a beautiful imagery, like the rosary and saints and such. Yeah, it's very extra. We're show off picking up the chairs at church. Yeah, I was one of those guys. What are you gonna do? You gotta wear a certain necklace that is married. I remember growing up, I had it's called a rosary, and mine was glow in the dark, and I thought it was like the coolest thing, but it was also kind of weird. That was like I don't know, it's kind of creepy. Like my turtles, yeah, they're good turtles. And they're swimming around enjoying life. I got them off Facebook Marketplace, and there was only like, they were in like a small tank with only like that much water, and like they were okay, but they were in. Now they're really happy. Drake, yeah, I remember you from the other day. I think so. Now I'm second guessing it. Religion separates, but all God wants from you is to have a relation with you, not a religion. Yeah, I've heard that. Some people say that like Christianity, if you do it right, isn't a religion. Religion's like the whole like is what like gets corrupted. And there's some people that believe that you still have to maintain the old ways, like you can't eat pork, you can't eat shellfish, and because like Jesus never said that you could stop eating those things. It was Paul who said that after Jesus was already dead, which is kind of weird to me too. Like if you're gonna follow the Bible, I don't think he's really the right one to be following in it. You can pray for me if you want, but it's not really gonna help me at all. Relation, not religion. I don't know what that means. I think you would find some benefit in maybe in the religion to find spiritual peace. I was a Christian for 25 years. It didn't help me. Catholics be praying to Mary? Yeah, they pray to Mary and to the saints. It's weird. Yes, it will. Religion, that's claimed to be a relation. Yeah. Is there a reason why you don't believe in God? It's just because the nothing adds up. There's no reason for me to believe. There's not enough evidence, and it's just I can't get there. I tried to believe for a long time, and it just wasn't able to work. I'm not really scared of death per se. I don't want to die. So like if something's like happening, I'm scared to die. Yes, but like I'm not like scared of death. I'm just like it is what it is. It's like anybody, even someone who's like religious. If somebody has a gun, they're scared to die. It is what it is. Do atheists believe in marriage or at best a relation? I'm married. I'm married to my wife for like 6 years now. I mean, I'm a little weird, so like I'm like, marriage is really just at this point, it's like we didn't have kids, so I didn't want kids, but like it's just like I look at it as like more of like a joining of our incomes and like status and whatever. It's not really like it's not the same as like I don't know. It wasn't necessary for me, but I know she liked it, so I went with it. And I'm happy I am. McChicken. I love McChicken's frog ate burrito. Remember you from the other day too. How many other religions have you studied? I haven't studied them really that hard. I've looked at them. I've looked at like what they offer, but that's about it. I believe George Washington was probably real. I don't see why not. Reality could be an illusion. Yeah, everything could be an illusion. That's quite possible, but I don't know. Jesus speaks through people too. It doesn't just happen. I've heard stuff like that. McChickens, oh yeah, good McChicken. There's something about it, like especially after like midnight. It's such like a crappy thing too. It's just like crappy chicken, deep fried with like crappy mayo and crappy pickles. Actually, I like put down with pickles, and then like just a crappy bun, and it's just like wrapped in that foil, and it gets like a little steamy and good. Oh, it is Valentine's Day. Let's go. I'm actually going. Bring my wife to. We've been going to White Castle for like 10 years. So we go there every Valentine's Day because it's like cheaper than like those fancy restaurants, and it's fun. They set up the tables and it's nice. What do you think happens after death? I don't know. Probably just die. You're just there. You're just gone. That's all. I could try that a monkey maybe. Bro, White Claw, such a cute thing for Valentine's. Yeah, right? It's fun, Fancy Pharaoh. Like, they set up, like, the mats, and then they, like, do table service. It's stupid, but it's hilarious. From the West Coast, I've never been to White Castle. It's good. I would probably say, I've never been there, but, like, from what I hear, the place you guys got down there with the... Oh, what the hell is it called? The burger place you guys got. It's, like, really popular. We don't have any here. Excuse me. I wish I could stop yawning. Like, I hate yawning. Thank God more. Hope you have a good day. Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Riley. Oh, I covered up the chat on YouTube. Sorry. It Hasn't been popping. It's all good. How do these diamond things work? I see like Blue Hat Productions has diamonds or something, or coins. Interesting. I don't really know. Jesus loves me. Thank you. Have you asked God to? Yes, I have. I did for like 25 years. Angelique. I was a Christian for 25 years. I was Catholic. What caused you to turn from religion? It didn't make sense to me. It's not like one of those things like some people, like somebody dies and there's like, I'm not a Christian anymore. I don't believe in God. It wasn't like that. It was just like, it's more subtle. It was like, I read the Bible. It was like, it seemed stupid to me when I read it. Like everything just seems so fake. It seems like a story somebody would write. And it doesn't feel like something real. It doesn't feel like there's any of the supernatural sense of it really works. And when I prayed, I felt nothing. When I sang, I felt nothing. All of it just never worked for me, so here I am. How did it not make sense? Like, I mean, just right off the bat, the whole Adam and Eve idea just sounds stupid. Like, first off, we all came from the product of incest, obviously, since it's just them. Then, like, they have two sons. The one son kills the other son, and then the son's nervous that the people are gonna kill him. And it's like, what people? There's only two people. There's two people born so far, and one of them's dead. And you're scared of the people. What people? Your brother's dead, and you have your mom and dad. You're not gonna be. If you're talking about people, you're not gonna say mom and dad. You would say mom and dad. I'm scared. You're talking to God. I'm scared. Mom and dad are gonna kill me. Instead, he flees. And it's just weird. There were other people. Miles. Where does it say that? That's so unrealistic. Because if you're gonna say that, you gotta show where it says that. Why are there other people? And then when did they come about? When did God make them the same time as Adam and Eve? And why don't we hear about them during the story? Then what's the importance of them? Did God put them there after Adam and Eve ate the fruit? Like, what's the whole timeline here? None of that makes sense. The universe just always existed. God's a fairy tale. That's how I feel, yeah. Thank you for the follow, Fancy Furl. I don't know. Someone writes and produces a book, and they God in the backstory. So basically, atheists have an explanation for everything. Mostly. All right, try me. I'll try to explain whatever. But, like, it's... All right, so, like, I don't know what happened before the Big Bang. Okay? I don't know if abiogenesis is actually what happened to create life. Or if there was always some sort of life. I don't know anything like that. But the fact is, if you're going to just say, well, there's no evidence, so God did it. Like, every time we've done that, we found something else is whatever, like, you know? How many genders? I don't care how many genders there are. There's two genders that cover 99.9% of the population. The other percent, just leave them be. Let them do what they want. I don't really give a shit. I don't know why people are so hung up on that shit, man. Like, it's like 1% of the population at most that, like, don't really bother anybody. Oh, no. Someone that looks entirely like a man who used to be a woman is using the men's bathroom. How terrible. Like, you know, like, it's just, like, it's so dumb to me that we worry about that shit. If you feel like you're another gender, like, if I was born, or let's just say tomorrow, me and my wife whack heads by accident, and we switch bodies. Now what? How am I gonna feel? Am I gonna feel like a girl or a guy? I'm a guy in a girl's body. I would like to be treated like the guy that I am, but, like, my body's different now. Like, what do you do? It's like, I just try to be empathetic with it. Like, it's none of my business, really. And, like, if you're scared of someone who's a trans woman who looks like an actual woman in the bathroom, then who gives a shit? I don't get it. I don't get you guys. Sorry. Thank you for the follow, Maestro. Do you believe that there is a creator? No. Big Bang Theory doesn't exist because who created that? It doesn't need to be created. Who says it needs to be created? It was just a bundle of energy that explodes on its own. Happens. It's called spontaneous combustion. This is why there are bad stereotypes on Christians, because they won't even listen to anyone else. Yeah, I get it. You should read Thomas Aquinas' 5 Proofs. I've read the 5 Proofs themselves in like small form, but I don't know them offhand. It's Newton's first law. Nothing can come from nothing. There is no, has to be a first action. Okay, then explain God. God breaks that law too. Why can God break that law, but the universe can't? Explain it, because that doesn't make sense. School's bad for you? No, it's not. Because what I'm saying is, replace God with universe always existing, and that's it. What do you think happens after death? Nothing. I think you just cease to be. Energy needs a creator. Why? Why does it need a creator? Why does it need a creator? You're just assuming it does. Because nothing can come from nothing. Well, it did. It didn't say it came from nothing. It just never was nothing. Show me how you know that it never, like the Earth or like everything didn't just always exist. And all right, if you want to get technical, you want to get in this like little technical train, this something of nothing, whatever. The sum of all the matter and antimatter likely equals nothing. These straw mans get old, yeah. We're not really, we actually don't exist. Exactly. We're just nothing. We are nothing. Exactly, Joanne. God was always here. So was the universe. If God could do it, so can the universe. Yes, that's Tool. Where's my Spotify? Stinkfist. Do you know if the pieces fit? I don't know. I love Tool. Let's go, Cloaks. Yeah, Tool's great. So atheists believe in karma. Energy comes and goes. I don't believe in karma, really. I think if there was karma, Donald Trump wouldn't be president. And he wouldn't be rich. I always tell her to go higher. Thank you for doing that, tinfoil. Very vague. A monkey, I guess so. Believe in Satan? No. If I believed in Satan, I wouldn't be an atheist. I'd be a theist, technically. You take song requests? I can, Cloaks. What do you want me to play? Yeah, I have basses and guitars. I was playing a little earlier. Fender jazz bass right here. I've been hooked up. What do you think made the Earth then? I don't know. Probably nothing. It probably just formed after the Big Bang. Thanks, folks. Cloaks, thank you for liking the live. Can you play Says Tapes by Deftones? kind of moral compass do atheists use? One derived by humans. Like how we create our laws, we don't really like. There's this aspect of God we use, but then there's a lot of stuff that we don't get from God. Tell me if it got too loud, guys. Repent. I have repented. It didn't work. And you need to stop treating him different than what we treat other people. It is interesting. He's waiting for you, man. He's always waiting for you. Yeah, I got you. Well, until I die, right? If I die before I get there, so I'm like, what do I do? So once I die, if I believe when I see him, then does it count? It doesn't. I don't think it does. Why don't like Jesus? It's not I don't like Jesus. I don't really like religion. Well, I don't like Old Testament God mainly. He's kind of an asshole. Why don't you like Jesus? It's not Jesus. Jesus was fine, but I don't think he was the Son of God like he claimed. I think he was a little bit of a trickster. Thank you for following, guys. If you haven't followed yet, please drop a follow, drop a like. Please share it. We're almost at 4,000 likes. You guys are crazy. Don't try to scare him with hell. Yeah, dude, Miles, I was a Catholic, so I know the scariness of hell. That's part of what was so hard to understand was like everything made you go to hell. And then like the Pope could just pick and choose what was good and bad. It was so weird. Like 1 minute, like you couldn't eat meat on Fridays, and then all of a sudden you could, and then like why does the Pope get to pick that? Why do you stop believing in God? Because there's not enough evidence to prove God exists, and I can't make myself believe without having that evidence. It's not in my ability. Really backs up the idea of the beginning of the universe. Yeah. Respectful to your, I mean, yeah, like I'll respect you, but not necessarily the being. Like I don't like if somebody can put into their book that like how to treat a slave, that's kind of terrible. And if you could put into your book like all this weird crap that like doesn't make sense, that could have like I could write a better Bible myself just by like omitting the stupid shit he did. You don't think your life is evidence now? Evidence of what? Of what God? What all about all the other gods that claim to be evidence of life? Like you're just picking one. You ever have an Exodus? Yeah, I have, Annie. It was really weird when you first start thinking about it, because it's like when you first start like not believing, it's out of your control. You can't make yourself believe. It's just impossible. You try to have faith and think like, all right, I can't know, but like I have faith. But once your faith is kind of broken by the ability not to believe, you start like spiraling, and you're like, what if he is real? Because even though you don't believe, you still could be fearful of him not exist, or fearful of him existing. So you're fearful of him existing, and that you're going to go to hell for your for being like unbelieving, because that's what it says in the Bible. Then you start freaking out. And then you start thinking about how death could just be darkness or something, like you guys say. Like you just die and then you're like gone. It's like the idea of taking away heaven is terrifying at first. But once you get used to it, it's just like, all right, it's how life is. It's like the fact that when you learn how that you die to begin with, it's the same shit basically. It's just like, holy shit, we could die? We could just not exist? That's crazy. Oh, but there's heaven. It's okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, heaven makes it okay, but like, you just don't have that with this. So you just keep going, keep living life, and then you start to get used to it. Now I'm happy with my life. Do we live in a crater? Not at all. I really don't think there's any crater. Hey, Katie Wadey. Why is your name so funny? Thank you, Lane. I appreciate it. I respect you too. Down the track, don't say it's show. I'll wait. You don't believe in spirits? You're not really, no. The demons thing is weird. Maybe of the three ghosts, but even that's debatable. Angels, like that's kind of would make me a theist, wouldn't it? They're part of the whole thing. Like, do angels really exist outside of Christianity? I'm not going to do any questions right now, Stinky. I'm still like kind of getting my bearings here, learning how to use the platform before I do stuff like that. I'm trying to have my own talks also, like just to kind of like get my ideas out there so people have a chance to like kind of collect their thoughts and come back. And I also want to see how like people that are I'm not going to go into Islam, giggity. I'm not. That's just where I am. Who's our gym about talking pig before? Imagination exists. Yes, exactly. Like that's how the world works. Like you have imagination, you can think of these things, and people just like to be very like stuck on their ideas. So, and it's like, oh, once you bring it, like you have to really absorb everything everybody says, because if people give you an argument, you should really listen to it. Try to make like an astute decision based on it. Especially when they're sincere. A lot of people aren't sincere though. Especially online. Like you can probably see people on the lives, guys, that like you scroll through and they just seem like they seem almost like shells that are just like, alright, let me do my YouTube thing. Let me pretend like I'm one of the other atheists on here. Oh, you don't believe in God? You don't I already fucked it up. Oh, you guys believe in God? That's so weird. Like, you really actually think that? How do you guys think about God? I mean, I can't believe somebody could be that unintelligent that they believe in God. There's so many weird things that happen in the Bible, and, like, there's so many ways, and, like, they just talk, like, so condescending and so, like, douchey. And, like, I could talk with a little more energy than I do, but I just kind of, like, I just want to be me, so... Have you ever read the Bible? Yeah, 3 times. Once as a kid, once as like 15, and once I was like 25. Capping for Christ. Cool song. Let's put my music back on. I need to make the content size bigger. Like having trouble reading it because it's just like moving so fast on my screen. I wish I could invert it. More chat settings. Can I fix this? On my inactivity. Get rid of that. Oh. Huh. Okay, what's extended chat? Yes. Oh, nice. Oh no. That's a good song. All right, sorry about that, guys. I was trying to fix the chat. Cool song, yeah. Thoughts on the Super Bowl? I don't want to talk about it. I'm a Giants fan. You like? Yeah, I love Black Sabbath, Miles. They're great. I really like the Paranoid album's probably my favorite. Has like, what songs are on it? Paranoid, obviously. War Pigs. What else is on that one? Most of the ones I like. Yeah, if you're making a claim on something, then the burden of proof's on you. So if I claim God doesn't exist, the burden of proof's on me. But I don't claim God doesn't exist. I just don't believe God exists. But I admit that he may be out there. So if you could prove him, prove away. Angelique, I used to want to believe. I did for a while. Now I'm like, it's just I give up. If it happens, it happens. But I need evidence. Yeah. You can give her a song request. What's your favorite cheese? I'm basic cheddar. Cheddar and mozzarella. You like this song too? Yeah. My playlist. Jesus being a trickster. I mean, like his miracles, like when he did the fish and stuff, was basically he's a magician, not so much a trickster. I was thinking more like Loki, but you get it. He's not as much of a trickster. That was the wrong way to put it. Do signs of life not point to creator? I disagree. No, they don't. Brandon Lake. What's Brandon Lake? What? Like you have to give me like a song and a name. Like that's like some sort of like anti-Trump band. Say something from nothing. If you are something, can that something come from nothing? I don't think so. No, I don't think Christians are stupid for believing. No, some are. Some atheists. I've argued with atheists for believing the wrong thing. Any song by him? What was the fucking name of him? Brandon Lake. I'll just play the most popular. Where do humans come from? I don't know. I would just say from evolution. It's just the way things form. Like crystalline structures form perfect patterns. It's just how it works. Then you'd have to ask, like, why do things make imperfect things? Why is there? It could go both ways. But thank you, Navi. I spent a lot of time making this playlist, but somebody wanted this song, so you can request a song too. I'll tell you this much, guys. I'm not a country fan. Not that I dislike all country, but I especially don't like a lot of modern country that's like, it's like, get me your truck, get me your beer, gonna pray to God, get me out of here. Like, you know? Atheists believe in aliens? Probably. I mean, I don't think all do, but I think a lot of them would. I mean, it's not even that I believe in them. I just think that the likeliness of them existing is pretty high. Right? Like, it's just there's so much stuff out there. Seems like it would be likely. Have you studied all religion? No. Mostly, I was a Christian, so I know a lot about Christianity. If God intervenes, then there was wrong him. So, Liam, I disagree with that because your free will isn't compromised by interacting with God and him interacting with you, because he interacted with Satan before he fell from heaven. So like that doesn't make sense. It just doesn't add up. So if you're gonna say God didn't do like can't interact and otherwise it screws up free will, it doesn't make sense. What do atheists believe then? Like how do you think we're here? I think we just existed from. Look at science. It's probably the best way. Whatever you heard. About like evolution, Big Bang, stuff like that. Basically, that all explains it. Big Bang's fight a Catholic? Yeah, exactly. Like he was just looking at the evidence, pointed it out, and now it like ruined. Like people hate it, right? Like this is what it is. I'm Catholic, but let's get your beliefs out of the way. How are you, bro? Thank you. I'm good. How are you? Turn to God, brother. Hell is not a party. I mean, I was a Christian for 25 years, bro. I tried. It doesn't work. I can't make myself believe now. It's not that I didn't try, and I just can't make myself believe. There's no way to. If you go to tell me how to make myself believe, I would. But without evidence now, I just can't do it. You listen to Tombstone Town by Dorothy. Oh, it's featuring Slash? That's sick. Now you got me excited. All right, I could do this. What type of music do you like? I'm mostly a rock person, classic rock, like Guns N' Roses, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd. Yeah, I was a Christian before I converted. I was a Catholic for the first 25 years of my life. Yeah, numeric, exactly. Downhill from there. I have a nice day. Not that guy. Hell does not exist. I would agree with you, probably. Why are you an atheist? I just don't have the evidence doesn't add up. The actions and displays of power from God makes a lot of atheists not want to go. I don't believe in any religion. Okay. Yeah, I think the Bible is probably mostly lies. How long have you been an atheist? About 12 years. But I was a little bit before that too. Like, I started off calling myself agnostic for like probably when I was 20, and I was trying to figure out what I actually believed. Because I didn't want to be an atheist. I wanted to be a Christian. But if I tried to like really learn about it and learn arguments and learn like how to believe, it just kind of made me believe less, because like the more you look into it, the more it's harder. At least for me, it was harder to believe. The evidence doesn't point to God; it points to just natural means. And like any sort of supernatural thing that's ever said just doesn't add up. It's just kind of weird. I mean, it's not really think about converting, in my opinion, but you could try to think about converting. What do you think happens after life? You just die. You just don't exist. Welcome to the jungle, Colson? Alright, I could do that. I can make that happen. Get it queued up. Slash is so good. I mean, he's not like the best guitarist, but he just has such good style. Yeah, the whole heaven and hell thing is meant to, I think, was put there to make you scared. It's like, I can't risk that. Like the whole Arkham's Razor argument, like it's, is that the right one? No. Fuck. Is it Arkham's Razor? No, I don't think so. Pascal's Wager, that was it. It's that ager at the end. It gets me confused. So, Pascal's Wager is like, what you could believe in God and get into heaven, and then if he doesn't exist, nothing happens. Or you could believe in God, go to heaven, or believe in God, not believe in God and not get into heaven, or nothing happens. Like, you know, like, so you're better off. Am I saying Arkham, like Arkham Asylum? Sorry, Miles. Occam's Razors, and then I was thinking of Pascal's Wager. I'm always gonna say Arkham. It's just like Arkham Asylum. This is non-belief. Yeah, I just don't believe in God. That's all it is. Satan is believing in Satan, which would make them theists. But like most Satanists now are just like faking it. They're doing it as like a troll to Christians. Best Batman game. Yeah, it's pretty good. Down the track. Welcome down the track. Depending on how you are reading it, unbaptized babies do not go to heaven and go to purgatory. Yeah. That's so weird, Sienna, isn't that? Like, that's so fucked up. Like, all those kids that got, like, flooded by the ark, they're stuck in purgatory. Another way to give us hiccups and canker sores. Yeah. Do you believe in God? No. May the Lord show himself to you? I tried. I asked him to. He didn't want to. That's why he made me an atheist. God made me an atheist. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to... McChicken burritos! Yo, McChicken burrito kind of sounds pretty good, doesn't it? That would sound fire. You just put it on a snack wrap sort of wrapper, but it's just all the other stuff. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Jesus is Lord, I guess so. The Bible says that people will be blind and Jews. Do you think that's you? No. I think it's just... None of it makes sense, that's all. If you were a Christian for 25 years, you never were a follower of Jesus. I was a follower of Jesus, Liam. The fuck does that mean? How does that make any sense, Liam? What the fuck are you talking about? If you were a Christian for 25 years, you were never a follower of Jesus Christ. If you were a Giants fan for 25 years, you were never a follower of the Giants. Doesn't make sense. That doesn't add up. What the hell? Try again, bro. There's no other way than God. Whatever. Should add to a burrito bowl. Sounds pretty. Yeah, like chop it up and put it on a salad. I know it doesn't look it, but I actually really like salads. They're really fucking good. I love salads. So like putting like a snack wrap on or a chicken thing on a salad sounds really good. Yeah, a McChicken salad. What made you an atheist? The lack of evidence to believe in God. Do you hate God? Not really. I mean, after reading the Bible, it's hard not to a little bit, Jane. Because like once you see all the kids that he kills, it's fucking terrible. And like I know it's supposed to be justified if you're a Christian, but the fact that he tells grown men to go slaughter a village that wasn't even attacking them, and then kill all the men and all of the women that seen a man, and only save the females that were virgins for themselves to do with what they wish, is one of the most heinous things I've ever heard in any book ever. If you read that in like put that story into a children's book for a library, you would ban that shit so fast. But if you're gonna but the Bible's okay. And let's not forget my favorite Bible verse. Where's my? I thought I had this open. I can't read it. She lusted after their lovers, whose sexual members like those of donkeys, and whose emission was like that of a stallion. It's pretty graphic, if you ask me. You know, like, we worry about, like, kids being exposed to stuff, but you put the Bible right there, no problems, with all this weird-ass shit in it. What made you believe you're atheistic? How can one hate something that doesn't exactly? It's more, well, it's like I hate Voldemort. Voldemort doesn't exist, but I don't like the character. Like, it's not that hard to figure out. It's a different type of hate. This is one of the more underrated Guns N' Roses songs, but we'll go back to my playlist just for variety. Hey, buddy. Gotta hug the dog, you know that? You always gotta hug the dog. God loves you, thank you. I don't believe in dog. I believe in dog, he's right there. Making himself comfy. He's a donut. Look at that dog. That dog is adorable. Yeah, his name's Elvis. He's a good boy. He's half beagle, half Dachshund. He believes you're atheistic. Nothing really made me believe I was. I just am. My lack of belief in God made me an atheist. That's just what it is. It's like saying, like, what made you believe you believe? It just is. They don't believe that we came from intelligent God? No. My ideal vision of which God should be, he should be all, like, if he's actually loving, he should actually show love and not just, like, there's way too much violence involved with God. There's always some stupid ass problem. You should have made it very clear that he exists, rather than just being some bullshit that, like, he just, like, walks around in heaven and watches us. I don't know. Really just somebody loving instead of this, like, terror. He's literally like a terrorist in the Old Testament, especially. Really think about it. Floods the earth to kill everybody except for the non-sinners, and sort of leaves like some animals alive. But like some say that he takes 2 of everyone, but then there's like some that say he like takes like 6 different animals that were like clean, and I don't know. It's very confusing. None of it makes sense. I don't get it. Even the devil, no. The devil would make me a theist. So you believe that we came from just coincidence, basically, and chemical reactions? Yeah. That's what I believe. I don't know if it's true, but that's what the evidence leads me to that. It doesn't, but I don't absolutely believe that with blind faith either. It's not like I put all my faith into it or anything. It's just like, all right, that makes sense to me. It kind of adds up. It looks like it could be true, so I believe it. With God, there's nothing to believe. There's no reason to believe it at all. Think about the devil. God saves us. Satan leads us to sin. Oh, fuck Satan. I don't give a shit about him. Like, he exists too. Fuck him. Like, right? Like, I don't care. I think God sits in heaven. Like, he doesn't come down here. No, he doesn't. He doesn't interact with us. He doesn't have to come down here. He sees all at all times. He's outside of space and time. He experiences time in an absolute single moment all the time. Like, he does. Like, there's no, like, it's just different. If that's what the case is he's completely different than any of our understandings. So, like, he's not walking on Earth unless he's Jesus. Jesus walks on Earth. Sometimes maybe he visits to, like, tell, like, Moses something, but that's it. I like Lady Gaga. I'm not a big fan, but I do like her. And people assume that Satanists because of who we're dressed and listen to rock music. Yeah, Mata. Why not be agnostic? I mean, I am agnostic. I don't believe in God. I just, but I also don't know that he doesn't exist. So that's a knowledge claim. Knowledge claim is different than a belief claim. He tells God, yeah, he tells Moses to, like I was saying before, he told Moses to kill all the children, except the girls that were virgins, to keep for themselves to do with what they wish. Keep as slaves, maybe sex slaves, maybe as wives, maybe what is it, concubine or something? I don't know. I did Peyton. How many times can I ask? I'm open. If he wants to come see me, I'll be like, hey, what's up, dude? The Bible in the original Hebrew will make more sense. Yeah, let me go learn a fucking new language so I can learn Hebrew. So I can read it in Hebrew. No, thank you. You don't believe God. Why does so many in your news say God made me atheist? Because it's a joke. Because you guys say that God has a plan for all and makes everybody, so he made me into who I am, and this is an atheist. It's also a joke on, like, you guys say that atheism, like, everybody believes in God, they're just rejecting him. I'm not rejecting him, but if you're saying that, then God made me that way. So, you get it? Like, what song is this? It's some Metallica song. I put, like, a Metallica playlist in my playlist, and there was, like, basically every Metallica song ever, so I have to, like, manually take them out. Yeah, this is from Death Magnetic. I don't even know it. Let's listen to Zeppelin instead. Sorry if you were enjoying that. Guys, thank you for the shares. Thank you for the likes. Please drop a follow if you want to see content in the future. We've been doing pretty good tonight, guys. 30 viewers. Not bad. We had 50 before. I think we had 100 at one point. The appendix blind spot when we meet. Yeah, God loves you and everyone. Nah, I hear you. Thank you for the follows, guys. Remember, you don't have to believe and you don't have to disbelieve to follow. All it is a follow. Doesn't mean anything other than you want to see my content more and you want to talk more. You have to knock the vampire rules. He can't come in unless you invite him. I've invited him. I would invite him for 25 years, Angelique. Believe in God, not one that declines him. I don't know what that means, crew. My butt, God bless you. Thank you. You still don't believe in God? Nope. Don't know. It's been years. 12 years. Basically, 1/3 of my life I haven't believed, and 2/3 I did believe. What's when you were believing Satan, but it's not Satanism, right? They call it Satanism, but it's a different type of Satanism than what it used to be. Favorite restaurant? I don't know. What is my favorite restaurant? allergy pill. Main reason is just the lack of evidence. An atheist doesn't believe in God, not one that declines him. Yeah, I don't decline God. I just don't believe in him. Young boy Caleb, I don't know that. Can you like just give me a song? And if you guys, if you want to make a request, just type the song, the artist, and the song name. I can't. I'm not gonna pick the song too. You can pray for me if you want. Power of Lukey? No. Vote by Youngboy. What do you call Lady in the Water? I've heard of it. I think I might have watched a review of it. Got a little bit of both. Stark, you mentioned. Do you ever believe in Jesus? Yeah, I believe him for 25 years. Put you some good music. All right. This is not my style, but it's still cool. What about people possessed, speaking language they never spoke? I don't know. I mean, there's people that whack their head and learn a new language. It's all a mystery. We don't really know. What it might be is like when we, from like our ancestors, maybe like there's a latent ability in this inside our heads that get passed down, and we just don't know how to access it until something happens. It's weird, yeah, but I don't know. You know, it makes sense. You're talking about how God does whatever. If you're atheist, you don't believe. I mean, crew, I'm talking about what the Bible says, not necessarily. I'm taking it in like a theoretical sense, not in like a what I actually think happens. Like, I don't believe in God. I think nothing of it is real. I don't think the Bible actually says what God did. I don't believe in Adam and Eve. I don't believe in Noah. I don't believe in any of that crap. Or the main guy in the act like a child getting from elder lady. Yeah, that sounds cool. I'm atheist as well. Let's go, Zozo. God loves you? Sure. You believe in aliens? Probably. What do you think happens when we die? We just cease to exist. Adam Eve mentioned. What is your favorite faith-based film if you had to pick? I don't know. Like interest, but probably Sister Act 2. But interested by Lucky Next? Maybe. Who do you think wrote the Bible then? People. I mean, doesn't have the authors like the Book of John and shit. God, are you real? What do you think atheist means to Emily? Okay. Why do you feel the need to tell people you're atheist? I'm just spreading awareness. That's all. Talking, seeing what happens. Honestly, all right. So like the reason why I started this account was because I was on Twitter on my main account where I game and stuff, and I'll like that's where I get my like, gaming news and stuff. But then like stupid abortion shit came up, and then this guy that like would just like say the stupidest stuff about atheism all the time. It was just every day, and I'd say like, and then I started responding, and it just made my feed terrible. So I made an account that said memes made me atheist as a kind of troll. And then I started talking on it, and I got like 100 or so followers pretty quickly, and I'm like, oh, let me just change the name. This is kind of stupid, and so I made it like God May Be Atheist because I thought it was funnier. And then this is like a few weeks ago, maybe a month at this point, I made my TikTok just to like respond to other people I see on TikTok too, because the same thing was happening on my TikTok, and I made the account and just kind of forgot about it, and all of a sudden I look and there's like 250 followers, like, and it's been like steady for a while, like a few every day for no reason, and I'm like, oh, maybe I guess people like the name, and then so I just decided to try streaming on here, see what happens, see if they thought it was interesting, what I had to say. So, and it's been doing good. It's like we been averaging like 30 viewers, so I figured people want to see it. I'll keep doing it. I'll keep talking about it. But do I like potatoes? Yeah, I love potatoes. Everyone fear not. I am God. Do you believe in a higher power? No higher power. Not at all. Never approached the father like a child, fully dependent and ready for him. I mean, I did when I was a child too. Never felt him. Never had any even hint of a feeling. You should play Outlast 3 since it's can trigger so religion's depictions. Maybe. Were you always an atheist? Did you become later on? Because I was a Christian for 25 years. I'm 37 now. It was just like a long process of like changing my mind. Like I wanted to believe, and then I just couldn't make myself believe anymore. Like that's what a lot of people don't understand. Is like I tried. I really did try. I like wanted to be a Christian, but it just didn't work out for me. And that like it just became better for my mental state to not believe anymore, because I was worried about hell, because I couldn't believe in it, but I was also scared if I was wrong. So once I got over that, then I was started to feel better. You'll say religion is no part of politics, but oof, that's a big lie. Yeah. I think it shouldn't be as much as possible, especially in American politics, since it's kind of in our Constitution. Thinking what happens after death? Nothing. You just die. Die and you're gone. It was okay. That's not my thing, though. I'll be honest. Not my type of music. I'd much rather Goo Goo Dolls. There was a creator? No. What awesome, what awareness about atheism? You really have to tread lightly when telling people you're an atheist. I don't really tell many people. Because, like, my family was very... Like, I brought it up to my dad once when I was younger, and he kind of reacted badly. And other, like, my mother-in-law also reacted badly when she saw I shared a atheist, like, post on Facebook about a fucking cloud. She freaked out on me. Like, you're an atheist? And people get mad, so you got to be careful what you do. They'd be much more accepting of another religion than they would of you being an atheist, which is kind of wacky. You think using your non-belief as a safety net because you fear had? I don't know. Patented. You knowing has no effect on my personal life. Right? So I don't share this account with any family members. I don't want to. You guys think you're so smart sometimes. So you believe that life comes from non-life and doesn't point to an eternity being his God? Right. Because I'd either lots of options out there. Without coming to you, I promise curiosity. How do you believe humanity began? Just through evolution. That's it. The Earth was created through the process of the Big Bang, creating the stars and stuff like that. It's very sciencey. It's hard to get too sciencey when we have like. I don't really want to go that deep into it. Are the fish atheists as well? Yeah. Otherwise, I'd send them out to the creek. No, I'm just joking. I don't know. I've assumed that all animals are atheists. You really want to break it down because they don't understand the concept of God. All right, crew. Here you go. Why are the monkeys still around? If dogs are around now, why are still wolves? What about turtle? If there's sea turtles, why are there freshwater turtles? I don't know. How can non-life come from non-life, if you can even explain? I don't know, Aaron. So here's the thing. There's studies going into biogenesis and how stuff happens. People are a type of ape, not technically a monkey, but yeah, we're apes. We're related to monkeys because they're close cousins. So non-life. Excuse me, I'm getting tired, guys. This is a little while longer than I'm gonna call it. So life from non-life, how I believe it happened was, primordial soup is like usually what people will say. We could create amino acids from this process, which is like the first step to creating life, but we can't create life yet. So if we were able to prove that, like, taking lightning, striking it into amino acids after it already formed from the minerals, then we'd be able to prove that life can be formed that way. But then the arguments is going to shift. So I think that's how it happened, but I don't know that for sure. You eat fish. That's cool. Do you believe in moral absolutes? No, not at all. No, I don't think the world was meant for us. I think we made the world for us. All right. I think that's it for me tonight, guys. I appreciate everybody hanging out. I need to get to bed. I'm getting tired. Nice 2-hour stream. If you guys want to come back tomorrow, I'll be on tomorrow. Just drop a follow. You too, guys. Everybody, God bless you if you believe in it. I was gonna say Hail Satan, but no, I don't want to be a dick. But have a good night, everyone. If you're atheist, happy Atheist Day tomorrow. Peace, everyone. Drop a like if you want to be back tomorrow. Thank you. Drop a follow, rather. We need the follow. No, I'm not afraid of death. All right, bye, everybody.